have to know, scale of 1 to 10, how much romance is gonna be in store for season 7 of One Calls the Heart?
11.
11! You're breaking the meter.
I have to.
That's how much romance, truly. A wedding.
I mean,
so many suitors for Elizabeth.
Yes. We're overflowing with romance.
One Calls the Heart Season 7 is coming to Hallmark Channel in early 2020. But to hold you over, ET got an exclusive preview of what's to come straight from the cast on the Vancouver set. Lucas got the dance, but Nathan got the glance.
So good.
I have to know, where is Elizabeth's heart at?
I like to think that throughout season 6, Elizabeth was really moving on with her life. She was making peace with having lost Jack, really becoming a single mother and standing on her own 2 feet. And by the end of season 6, we see that she is starting to become willing to open her heart to love again. And in season 7, we get to see a bit more of that as far as how she feels about these 2 men. I think maybe she's a bit surprised that she's got feelings for anyone, let alone 2 men.
It's hard to ignore when there's 2 wonderful gentlemen who really have just so much affection for Elizabeth.
That's the thing, right? They're pretty great guys. They're both single. They're both handsome.
Yes, point blank.
I mean, they're generous, they're sensitive, they're good listeners, they're good with her kid. I mean, I have to think that Jack would approve.
I think so. He'd want her to be happy.
He'd want her to be happy, and we are moving in that direction.
I think the big thing that we see this year with the 2 suitors is that one of the suitors pushes her to be better, and one of the suitors needs her to help him be better.
Lucas is able to push Elizabeth in a way that no one else does, and challenge her when she needs to be challenged in order to help her grow as a person. The thing he has the most going for him is his ability to do that.
Nathan is bad at talking to girls.
I need to know, how is Nathan upping his game and his chances in season 7?
He got a haircut? I don't know. Nathan needs to read a book on how to talk to women. I think Nathan looked at that last scene in season 6 as, I guess she's just not interested.
It's done.
Yeah, so I think outside circumstances start kind of coming into their lives and bringing them a bit closer together.
Lucas is more outgoing and unafraid of approaching Elizabeth, whereas Nathan is more reserved. And he still continues to be reserved this season, but you can tell that he's pushing more than he was.
A lot of the Hardys, they seem to think that Elizabeth might not necessarily end up with Nathan because he's a Mountie. And of course, in the back of her mind, she might fear that I could lose him the same way I lost Jack. What's your take on that?
There's something so rich and complicated about Elizabeth's relationship with Nathan because he's a Mountie. I mean, you can't really get around that, and obviously she's got history with that profession. There's a lot of fear about that, but I'm not gonna sit here and say to you, no, that definitely won't happen.
Because it's definitely an option.
I mean, yeah, there's 2 great options.
I think Lucas, he's definitely attracted to Elizabeth, and he has the confidence to pursue her. Where I think Nathan is attracted to her, but he also, there's some history with the Mounties, clearly. I think we might even find out a little bit more if Nathan and Jack might have known each other. So Nathan has a bit more reserve to maybe not
Aggressively pursue
something, that he kind of feels closely to,
Of course.
with that loss like that.
I don't know, it's a tough call. It's really a tough call.
You did it.
The addition of baby Jack has been so heart-melting, so I have to know what sweet motherhood moments are in store for Elizabeth, and maybe not even sweet, maybe there's gonna be some challenges.
Well, there are certainly challenges for me as an actor.
Oh, of course,
Just wrangling the babies, and we have some little tricks to keep them happy, but there are some beautiful, tender moments of motherhood, and I'm honored to get to tell those stories, but first words, first steps, just sweet little cuddly moments where they like to hold on to me and play with the buttons on my shirt. It just makes me melt. They're so cute.
Will you be my wife?
We're engaged!
I couldn't help but notice this beautiful
it's really pretty,
ring.
Isn't it?
Yes, can we get a close-up on that?
Sure.
That you got proposed to in the season 6 finale of One Calls the Heart.
Yes.
So now we have to believe that there's probably gonna be a wedding in season 7. Is that true?
Absolutely.
We have a wedding to
We have
look
a wedding,
forward
I
to.
know.
Hope Valley loves a wedding.
I know. They do
blow
the
it
best.
out.
They do
Yes.
the best weddings.
They
Come on.
do. Yeah, come on, this is Hallmark.
This is Hallmark.
You know?
It's wedding season, baby.
Tradition with wedding, you typically don't see the bride until she walks down the aisle.
Yes.
Do you think on the day that you shoot that moment, you and Erin are gonna stay separate?
We've talked about that. I think I would like it to be separate. I think
Really?
we'd like to be separated, yeah, and have that, genuine moment of us seeing each other and me walking down the aisle to him. Yeah.
Do you think you will be tearful?
Oh, definitely.
Like hard to get through those scenes?
Definitely.
I don't want to see her at all. No. I would really like, if we could, I mean, it's hard on set, but if we could keep me completely separated from her until that moment when I see her walking up, that would be so cool. I'm getting kind of emotional already, picturing her coming down the aisle.
I mean, what do you think your reaction's gonna be?
I think it's gonna be an accumulation of the last 5 years together. All the beautiful moments we've shared, our first kiss, our first date, our first picnic, all these things, and it's just gonna come together right there.
Team Infirmary. After so many seasons of waiting, we finally saw the spark really ignite
Yes.
between Carson and Faith. So where does that pick up in season 7?
The wonderful thing about season 7 is this push-pull dynamic that was established in season 6. It's more affirmative now. I think we'll see these characters making bolder choices and committing to each other in a way that we kind of haven't seen before.
The relationship with Faith has progressed in that amount of time too, like with Andrea Brooks and my character, where they are in love and it's growing and there's a lot happening with them.
What kind of challenges is the couple gonna face this season?
Well, when it comes to Faith, I think she really starts examining her career. She's given up so much in her life to put her career first. And at this point, she's thinking, maybe I can do more than just be a nurse. So maybe medical school would be an option.
We have this growing love. Carson really wants what's best for her. And she took all these extra courses in med school, and I find out her dream was to be a doctor. So Carson has to unselfishly put her career and her dreams ahead of keeping her here for himself and for love and for marriage and for babies and family, and go, wait a minute, what's really gonna make her happy? This was her dream, is to become a doctor. She will get a lot of tender, loving Carson and Faith, TLC and F.
These may not be our children, but here in Hope Valley, we're a part of everyone's family. Because of you.
So I have to talk to you about Rosemary and Lee's really touching journey to get to parenthood. Where are they at with that when season 7 starts?
So I think you see going into this season that ache is still there. I mean, they both still do really want to be parents, and they don't know what the grand plan is for them yet.
They're figuring it out.
They're figuring it out, and they're waiting to kind of see that unfold for them and figure that out. So that's where we see the two of them. Kavan is my partner in crime. He's my greatest creative companion I've ever had. And so we just really support each other. We support each other in the comedy, and we support each other in the drama.
I don't think I can give you a child. Because no matter how much I may want a child, the only thing in the whole world that I really need is you.
The two of us were able to talk about that and say, okay, how far do we want to go with the emotion, and what works and what doesn't work. And so there was a lot of conversations between the two of us of how we wanted that to play. We wanted the release, the cathartic release, but we didn't want it to end in total devastation.
Right.
We wanted it to end in this loving connection of the two of them.
It's a delicate position to be in. You don't want to do the stereotypical thing, you don't want to rush it. I think it's a problem that a lot of people have. So I hope that the way it finally resolves itself this season is good for everybody. They totally deserve it.
Yeah.
I think something will happen.
Good.
There are several theories. All of them are interesting. I hope one of them actually happens this season.
Lee and Rosemary are committed. They want to become parents. What steps are they taking in season 7 to go about that route?
Right now, I think the two of them are committed to trying to find joy in their life, even if that doesn't mean children at this particular moment. And I think they are doing that to relieve the pressure. I think so often it can be a singular focus, and everything you do and everything you talk about revolves around...
Consumes everything.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so I think they're trying to not have that. Get back to the heart of what, their joy as a couple, and
their joy as baby Jack's guardians.
exactly. There have been, this season, there's been a lot of scenes with the two of them and baby Jack, and it's really cute to see Lee and Rosemary like interacting with baby Jack, and of course it's just like full immersion. I almost feel like in those scenes that rather than just like the neighbors that live next door, it's almost like they're the grandparents. You know how grandparents are with grandkids, where
Yes.
their life literally, like their world stops when their grandkids are in the, it's like that with Lee and Rosemary.
Yeah.
It's like if baby Jack is around, like nothing else matters. Everything is about him.
If you had your way about it,
Well, I
would you
think-
want to see them explore the adoption
Absolutely.
route? There's an
I-
orphanage in Brookfield.
For sure, and
you
I
know?
think that's primarily where we're leaning. I think adoption makes the most sense.
Yeah.
I think it's an interest, the way it was set up last year, I think it really kind of lent itself well to that. I also think that it doesn't close the door entirely for her conceiving. I think it could be
Anything can
interesting.
happen.
Anything
Yeah.
can happen.